So the amendments to the Dangerous Drugs Act came into effect this week. But does this mean I can smoke marijuana as much as I like? Hold up, not so fast. We put the issue in context later in the show. Also in this half hour,
I just like the vibe here.
why persons gravitate to the beautiful island that is Jamaica. I'm Theodore Henry. Stay tuned for another half hour of Jamaica Magazine, your daily diet of information and entertainment.
Fiscal consolidation.
The centerpiece of the program has been the need to reduce our debt.
Business reform.
Make sure that we transform Jamaica to make it a place to do business easily.
New and existing businesses will benefit from streamlined regulations and processes.
And pursuing strategic investments while protecting the most vulnerable.
The path we're on is the right path.
The economy in Jamaica is turning.
The fact that the international community is once again lending to Jamaica says something about their confidence in our policies.
It is now time to actually stay the course, not to lose the benefits of the hard decisions that have been made.
The Jamaican government is committed to continuing the process of reform.
The government of Jamaica is on a mission, going for growth, staying the course and transforming the economy through its economic reform program.
Good day, I'm Carrie Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Friday, April 17. The academic term is to be extended for those schools that were affected by the Riverton fire in March. Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites announced that directive at a post-sectoral press briefing on Thursday.
When days are lost because of public health reasons, because of national emergencies, as in the case of the Riverton dump, it is the obligation of the school to make up those days. Yes, and I am convinced that this is an obligation understood by the schools and carried out by them in large part.
All schools are generally expected to have 190 instructional days. 8 new technical subjects are to be introduced for the 2015-2016 academic year. The subjects will be added to the traditional TVET offerings and will be introduced to 110 targeted high schools. The Education Minister says it's a move to make more students marketable.
The whole philosophy is to popularize TVET subjects in the high schools to make graduates more marketable for employment when they leave school or when they can go on to higher education. We have to play to the aptitudes of our young people and to the needs of the economy, both local and overseas.
The 8 new subjects are small ruminants, apiculture, renewable energy, meat and seafood handling, floral arrangement, computer graphics, visual merchandising, and logistics operations. And Jamaicans at home and within the diaspora are being encouraged once again to partner with the government to develop the nation's education system. The latest appeal came from Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites while speaking at a recent breakfast meeting with diplomats and business leaders hosted by the National Education Trust, NET.
We wish to posit education as being a worthy recipient of investment in Jamaica.
He urged people wishing to contribute to the sector to channel those resources through NET, which is tasked with enabling and maintaining investments in education. In other news, Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining Philip Paulwell is assuring that number portability will be available to Jamaicans by May 31 this year.
The rules are now gazetted since September last year. And very importantly, I have issued a license to a porting administrator, a company called Porting Access BV from the Netherlands. And they are now working to ensure that we meet the timeline.
That license took effect on March 16 and will last for 10 years. Number portability will allow Jamaicans to move from one service provider to another while retaining their mobile and fixed telephone numbers. Minister Powell says it will also facilitate greater competition among players within the telecoms industry. Minister with responsibility for information, Senator Sandra Faulkner, is calling on all ministries, departments and agencies of government to implement sexual harassment and disability policies. Minister Faulkner says this will foster a work environment that is free from unwelcomed sexual advances. She says the government is putting the necessary programs and policies in place to eliminate such abuses. These include drafting instructions given to the Chief Parliamentary Council last year for sexual harassment legislation.
The sexual harassment policy will facilitate transparency in the handling of all procedures relating to sexual harassment on the job.
Minister Faulkner was addressing the official launch of the Urban Development Corporation's sexual harassment and disability policies. And finally, Jamaica will host the closing ceremony of the Caribbean-Canada Emerging Leaders Dialogue, which will be held between September 30 and October 4 this year. The dialogue will see some 60 participants from Canada and various Caribbean territories undertaking study tours of 6 cities in Canada and the region. They will also meet with the leaders in private, public and civil society.
The Caribbean-Canada Emerging Leaders Dialogue is another initiative which promotes the benefits of networking and exchange programs for future business and policy leaders in our countries.
Participants are now being accepted to the program, and interested persons can get more information online. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Avoid, alter, accept. 3 steps to help you quit smoking. 3 things to help you kick that cigarette butt. Avoid places, people and things that encourage smoking. Alter the way you do things.
If you normally drive a certain route, and when you drive a certain route, you're going to pass a bar. Drive a different route, you don't pass the bar.
Get rid of ashtrays and all smoking apparatus. Breathe in and out. Drink some water. Count to 300. Go for a walk and hang around non-smokers. And after all that, accept that you need help.
With support, you're going to find, oh, I really feel better with support. Because the person who's supporting you is going to say, you know, I'm proud of you.
Do it one day at a time. Join the fight and quit smoking for life.
So the marijuana debate was back in the news this week. The Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act 2015 came into effect on Wednesday, April 15, essentially saying that if one is found in possession of 2 ounces or less of ganja, they will no longer be arrested or detained by the police. No more criminal record. Instead, they will get a $500 ticket that is to be paid at any tax office within 30 days. So, the use of ganja remains illegal. It's still an offense, but not a criminal one. One will, however, get a criminal record if they have more than 2 ounces of ganja. They may even go to prison, pay a fine, or do both. It's a little different, though, for those using marijuana for medicinal purposes, those wishing to do scientific research, or persons who are Rastafarians using it for religious purposes. Despite those changes, however, the government remains adamant that students are advised not to use the drugs. Here's the Education Minister.
We want to make it very clear. All smoking is bad for the health. All smoking. Yes? Ganja is not to be used and cannot help you to do better in your GSAT or your CSEC. And the strongest possible proscription of ganja use and any other substance use in our schools will be re-emphasized by the Ministry of Education. I don't even have to instruct the Chief Education Officer, Dr. McLean, to issue the strongest bulletin to our school population that disciplinary action will be taken, and there has to be a sturdy program to discourage drug abuse, substance abuse. Call it by any epithet you wish in our schools. It can't help you. You're heading down a dark and dead road if you choose to smoke weed.
Schools across the island are getting students ready for the world of work. One such avenue is through the staging of a career day. The Jamaica Information Service had the pleasure of sharing with students at Morant Bay High in St. Thomas.
It's Career Week Expo at Morant Bay High, and the JIS is present at the school, doing more than just capturing the activities.
Welcome to Morant Bay High School. You're watching School Zone. Keep
It was the culmination of 4 days of career workshops at the school located in the St. Thomas capital. The third formers, who the event was targeting, were exposed to professions spanning the arts, business, media, technology, culinary, and security.
We have been having this for several years now, usually in the third week of March. This week we have it from the 16th to the 20th. Today is the final day. What we try to do is to expose our third formers to all the possible careers that are out there and encourage them to choose one that fits best with their personality. So the theme for this particular one is a career for me, with the emphasis on me. Not the one your mommy wants for you or your cousin or other members or your friends.
We are the information arm of the government of Jamaica.
The Jamaica Information Service was upfront and center, providing loads of information on careers in the media industry.
Who's your favorite footballer? Messi. Have you ever seen him? You've seen him on TV. You're a very smart girl, and I noticed that you say, I've seen him on TV, because you've never met him, have you? But did anybody actually go to Brazil to see the matches? No, you didn't? One says, no, miss, like it's just unheard of. But you saw them, didn't you? How did you see them? Right, it was made possible by a little instrument in your house, little or big, because televisions are small, some of them are very big. And these days, you don't only rely on television. And with the use of technology, you are able to see these fascinating events and these really interesting people from far away, sitting on your sofa, in your house, eating a banana chips and just relaxing, right? When the Morant Bay High School called and said, come on board and support our career week, we said yes. The students were very receptive. They knew some things about media, but it was very interesting to make the connections with everyday life, real world scenarios, and to show them how media connects them to the rest of the world.
We have had individuals coming in to talk to them in small groups. Like we have had people from the medical field, people from agriculture, from business and finance, art and cuisine, and so on, to tell them what are the requirements, what's the attitude you're supposed to have in order to pursue a career, right? So we expose them as much as possible to all the possibilities out there so they can choose one.
You're watching Jamaica Magazine.
My opinion for career week is that it helps us to plan a profession that we can be when we go.
Every year it goes on, it gets bigger and better, because I remember when I was in third form, it was good, but it was not like this. It's expanding. More companies are coming out helping the students here to broaden their horizons, to see what it is that they would like to do in life.
Career Week is very important to us, because this is a week in which we get to try to map out our future by choosing the right career that best fits us. We get to choose the rest of our lives just in 1 week by viewing all expos, listening to people who are in those fields, in the various fields, and also getting an insight as to if those fields will actually fit us and our personalities.
St. Thomas future leaders exposed to a variety of job opportunities. Watch them as they make their mark.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
Mr. Speaker, our tourism results for the last year are most encouraging. and the future looks bright. It indicates that we are clearly moving the sector in the right direction. For calendar year 2014, Jamaica had a total of 3.5 million visitors coming to Jamaica. Mr. Speaker, this was a 7% increase over 2013. This is broken down into 2.08 million stopover and 1.42 million cruise arrivals. This trend has continued for the winter, Mr. Speaker, and already final figures for January and February show that we are 5% up for stopover arrivals. And Mr. Speaker, preliminary figures from January to the 7th of April show an increase of 6.4% over 2014.
That was the Tourism and Entertainment Minister this week in Parliament, giving his contribution to the sectoral debate, spreading the good news about the tourism industry in Jamaica. With our sun-kissed beaches, verdant landscape, mouth-watering meals, and most of all, a wonderful set of people, we can see why tourists often gravitate to this rock. Just ask U.S. President Barack Obama.
Yeah, I've been making myself at home here. It is great to be in beautiful Jamaica. Not only because I'm proud to be the first president of the United States to visit in more than 30 years, but because I just like the vibe here.
Yep, Jamaica is a vibrant place to be, so let's taste, see, feel, and experience Jamaica together.
Personally, when I was growing up, I would never consider vacationing in Jamaica because I always thought it was too expensive.
Accommodations in Destination Jamaica come in all shapes and sizes and cater to all pockets. Just a click on the JTB website can get you plugged into the links for villas, bed and breakfast spots, great houses, and a range of hotels. What attracts you to a vacation spot? White sand beaches, cascading waterfalls, sloping mountains, bustling marketplaces, sites rich in historic splendor, a culture that's second to none. From blue lagoons to mineral baths, Dolphins Cove to mystic trails, Destination Jamaica is far from short on attractions. How much do you know about Cousins Cove, where a Taino burial ground and cave paintings are said to be featured? Maybe a trip to this small inlet along the Hanover coastline is in order. Whether your flavor lies in fashionable events, big stage productions, nightclubs, heritage displays, or even, why not, a golf tournament, the destination that is Jamaica offers up a bevy of opportunities to exchange overtime excursions with production reports for exciting immersions into entertaining presentations. So, an out-of-office business retreat is needed to iron out a potentially profitable deal. You've got something new, something borrowed, and something blue. And all you need now is somewhere to showcase it all. From the Jamaica Conference Center in Kingston to the burgeoning Conference Center in Montego Bay, the island is packed with meeting and event venues for any occasion.
A lot of us grew up in Jamaica, we don't know even a quarter of the island. And I think it's in this time when the economy is so difficult, instead of taking our foreign exchange to go foreign, I think we should stay here and invest that money in Jamaica.
Not exactly your first concern when planning that dream vacation? Well, you're likely not the only one, but there is some value in recognizing that to vacation in Jamaica will benefit the local economy. That is likely to increase the chance of you affording to repeat that dream. So the next time you consider being bathed by the sun, drifting off to the lullaby of nature's breeze, toes dipped in cool blue waters, consider Jamaica. Because sometimes home, with its familiarity, can offer up exquisite surprises and fun new opportunities. And just think, no language barrier to contend with.
As you've just seen, Jamaica is blessed with a lot of scenic vacation options, and quite appropriately, those who live here have to mirror that image. A beautiful place with a beautiful set of people. Each and every one of us has to find some way to keep motivated. Up next, an initiative to empower individuals through art in downtown Kingston.
Art calms the soul and makes the impossible possible. That's why the Ministry of Youth and Culture has been using art as therapy to reach youngsters who were once thought to be unreachable. One of the ministry's art therapy partners, Studio 174, has since 2006 been a haven for young persons seeking an outlet for their artistic expression. On today's episode of The Arts Page, we look at the studio that's been making a name for itself in downtown Kingston, not too far from the famed Kingston Harbor. In May 2013, directors at the studio dared to dream big, and through funding sourced from international non-profit arts and cultural organization OpenVisor and collaboration with the Caribbean Institute of Media and Communication, CARIMAC, they conceptualized the Art Up Downtown project, which ran for 3 months in the pilot phase.
The program really was about getting more Jamaicans to be able to tell their own stories. The students did workshops inside the studio, learning to work with equipment, having to do with audio production, video production, photography. And they also did a lot of work on the road. So I would say the workshops on the road were really what made this program very special, you know, because it was a real-life experience for the students.
Following the workshops, participants were challenged to explore their immediate environment and find positive and interesting stories which could be represented through art. Those involved included 11 interns from CARIMAC and 8 of the studio's regular patrons.
Everybody just come in and they work as a team. And it was great because they did interview, they did like photography. I helped these students by showing them around, telling them about market life, what market life was all about.
We want them to see other people, see what we're doing, so that them can see that we're doing all of those things downtown here.
And it tells you everything about the good parts of downtown. It was totally fantastic. They were nice, they were polite. They took everything time by time with me because, you know, the very first time you're going on video to help someone is like, okay, you're going to be shaking at first, but they talked to me, they helped me laugh, and I just enjoyed myself right through it, like normal.
The exciting interaction between these budding artists and their subjects gave birth to a comprehensive exhibition that found a home within the walls of the studio, showcasing artwork inclusive of drawings, paintings, pictures, video and audio representations of life in the bustling town center.
We went through audio production, photography and video production. That entailed learning how to do stories, interviewing persons on the street for your audio stories, going on the street again, taking pictures of the buildings, of the people, and learning how to tell a story through pictures, be it 1 picture or 3, and tell a story. And then with video production, what we learned was to tell a story now with video, how to express emotion, how to express the ideas of people, vox pops. They were very excited about it because this is equipment that they've seen but never touched or operated. So they're really excited about it. They caught on quickly.
My skills in videoing, editing has improved. I learned about audio. And what I really improved on was the going out there on the streets, interviewing people, interacting with people, because at Karamat we learned the foundation of audio. So basically when we came here, I learned how to actually carry it out.
The Art Up Downtown project is not the studio's only offering. Neither does it just cater to individuals in and around downtown.
Outside of the Art Up Downtown program, we normally have workshops on Saturdays, and we have a number of plans, a number of things coming on stream very soon. I would definitely want people to know that we'll soon be offering support for CXC, CAPE, and Bachelors of Arts degree students.
What we do also here, we actually teach therapy art, where persons can come, as I said before, and kind of get back to themselves and so forth, because the thing is that sometimes, like during the incursion and so forth, persons were actually terrified and so forth. So what we do, we create programs like these now to make them actually feel comfortable again. It's a place where persons can relax and connect with oneself.
I would want to say to the organizers that they're doing a fantastic job. They should keep it up. And we really appreciate it. And I know that the youths here at Studio 174, they also appreciate it.
I want them to continue on their journey and never give up. Because I see students with determination and lots of promise in them. The Art Up program is something good. It's a good thing for downtown, and I'm hoping for the best for it.
I would tell them, come again, do more projects like that.
Organizers have listened, and the second installment of the project began in May 2014, ensuring that a new batch of students can explore their creativity while gaining practical experiences and life skills. There's no age limit for participating in the programs that are offered, so feel free to drop by the studio located at 174 Harbor Street and see what it's all about. You may also send an email to studio174jamaica@hotmail.com or visit their Facebook page to find out more.
The silence is dangerous and there's no one to trust. When you're caught between the rock and the rage, it's time to turn the page. You find yourself in the midst of the struggle, and soon enough you'll emerge from the rubble, stronger than ever. Just hold it together. I know when the rain starts falling, hold your head up high and don't you cry. You'll be fine, 'cause there's always tomorrow. Rain starts falling and the sun don't shine. Don't you cry, I'm on your side, 'cause there's always tomorrow. Sing it, oh, 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 'cause there's always tomorrow.
And that's it for this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for staying with us. Catch us again tomorrow on this station, and if you can't wait that long, catch us at your leisure on the internet, jis.gov.jm, or YouTube channel, or on our other social media platforms. I'm Theodore Henry, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Have a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.